Welcome, dear Thriver, to Thriver TV, where you learn how to be empowered to not just survive, but thrive after narcissistic abuse. Today, I want to help you get really clear in regard to the backlash, the shenanigans that narcissists play against you when you set boundaries or go no contact with them. You see, narcissists do not like not being in control, and they don't like you taking control. And they've got weapons in their arsenal to pull out to try to get you to relinquish control. These are the things that we're going to talk about today. But before we do, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into my content and for all the beautiful and supportive comments. I'm so grateful for them, and they continually confirm for me why I do this mission. Let's get started. We're going to have a look at when you set a boundary with a narcissist, what happens. Narcissists disregard boundaries. They crawl under, climb over, walk around, and smash straight through them. As a thriver, taking your soul and your rights back, this is what you need to understand. A narcissist is not going to respect, understand, or honor your boundary. They don't have the capacity to do that. And for a boundary to be effective, nobody else needs to respect, understand, or honor your boundary. Only you do. Where you go wrong is that you think the narcissist needs to respect, understand, and honor it. And then you try to lecture and prescribe to get them to do that. You try to tell them why they need to do that and why they should be doing that. Yet all that does is hand a narcissist narcissistic supply. It gives them attention and energy. And you've walked straight into their trap. So what does a narcissist do when you try to lay a boundary? This is what they do. They won't even admit that they've done something wrong. They're going to argue with you, make excuses, justifications. They're going to project it all onto you. They're going to turn everything into being your fault. They tell you all the things that you do wrong that are not even related to the conversation. They change the subject. They go off topic. They twist, they turn, they bring in allies, real or imagined. In short, they're going to do anything but listen to you, validate you, hear you, honor you, and respect you, and agree to the boundary. Know this. Expect this. Be prepared for this. So let me give you examples, and I'm going to keep it really simple. Let's start off with how not to set a boundary with a narcissist. Okay, so you tell the narcissist off for talking to you disrespectfully, and you say that you're not accepting it anymore. And what comes out of the narcissist's mouth in retaliation is going to be completely disrespectful. They just broke the boundary, and you find yourself fighting for the boundary, explaining the boundary, lecturing and prescribing in regard to the boundary. And you may continue doing this for the next 2 weeks, as if you're having an argument with an angry 5-year-old in an adult's body who refuses to get it, trying to wear them down and get them to get it. And you may eventually hear what you want to hear, but then you're going to discover, as fast as it takes to boil an egg, that everything you thought was resolved is thrown out the window again. You're back to square one again. The boundary never held. Why? Because it never was a real boundary. Now let's look at how to set a boundary with a narcissist. Okay, you tell the narcissist that you will not accept them being abusive to you anymore. The reply to this is, of course, abusive, or at the very least, invalidating, because the narcissist doesn't care about your feelings and isn't going to listen to what you need from them in any shape or form. But this time you don't expect them or try to get them to say, okay, I understand, you're right, I'm terrible to you, I know it hurts you, I promise not to behave like this anymore. you stop expecting that. You're not waiting for that. You're not trying to get that. So as soon as they're disrespectful, you remove yourself, you leave. You stop engaging, you completely detach, and you go no contact if you can. Or you apply modified contact if you can't leave the home yet. And you will no longer accept any interaction with this person because it's abusive. Your actions say it all. You mean it. They don't need to agree to the boundary. You agreed to it and you're enacting it. I don't know how much simpler I can give it to you. There actually is no other way to do a boundary with a narcissist. However, of course, it's not that simple. So let's have a look at the problem with trying to hold that boundary. Of course, doing what I just described can be very painful and difficult to do because the narcissist will try to get you to acquiesce. And this is the kind of things they do. They will tell you that you are the horrible one, the narcissist. They'll tell you that you're doing cruel, silent treatment. They're experts at this, taking no responsibility for their behavior. And then when you try to pull away to save your own soul and sanity, they blame you for all of the problems. This is just what narcissists do. And then they're going to pull in allies. They may go to your family and friends and they may tell them what a terrible person you are and put more pressure on you to drop the boundary. How do you defeat this? How do you get past this? You can't change the narcissist and you can't even change other people's opinions about you because of the garbage that the narcissist is feeding them. You can only change yourself, which means changing your emotional reaction to whatever's going on so that you're able to hold your boundary. And really, this takes deep, dedicated inner work. Because the narcissist knows every button to push in you. They know every chink in your armor and how to infiltrate you emotionally and get past any boundaries that you try to assert. So how do you hold your boundary? To strengthen your boundary armor means reinforcing, healing up your emotional gaps. And this is done by meeting, releasing, and reprogramming all of the triggered confusions and doubts where you start second guessing your boundary, where you start feeling responsible for others who refuse to take responsibility for themselves. And maybe you're feeling this terrible emptiness and this loneliness and these longings and feelings of being unloved or unworthy of love or guilt or abandonment or worrying about what other people think of you or whatever it is that's being triggered by what the narcissist is doing or not doing. Make no mistake, you are in a battle for your soul and your life. It's nothing less than this. And what this battle is really about is claiming the truth and the value of your soul and life and taking a stand for it, regardless of what somebody else is or isn't doing. This is really about coming home to yourself and your true self and your true life. Okay, I really want you to give you this warning. You really need to know this. If you succumb, it gets worse. I promise you this because I've personally experienced it and I've dealt with thousands of other people who have as well. And I'm pretty sure there's a good chance that you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you do succumb and you get sucked in by the narcissistic tactics, things get worse and worse and worse. Not only has the narcissist delighted in being able to throw you off your boundary, they will also punish you for trying to reinstate the control of your own life. It's been an absolute insult to their ego that you thought that you could do this to them. So when you reconcile in inverted commas, even though it isn't, you will see that the cycles get worse. All right. So people ask me all the time, what should I expect from the narcissist? What are they going to do now that I've laid a boundary or I've gone no contact with this person? My answer to this is always the same. It's going to be what's going to hurt you the most or get a reaction from you. The same narcissist will use different tactics with different people. I've had that completely proven to me. It's the utter truth. Why? Because the narcissist is a no self. Their energy and their operations are never about anything unique or original. They're actually about them working on other people's fears and insecurities for their own agendas. So if ignoring and abandoning you by not making contact is what's going to hurt you the most, the narcissist will do it. If sending you a cryptic text that may look like it was intended for somebody else, such as a mystery lover, is going to get your emotions churning, then the narcissist may do that. Or smearing you to colleagues or a boss or your family or friends. If that's likely to get you going and make you retaliate, the narcissist may do that. If parading a new source of love supply all over social media is the way that the narcissist will try to torment you and get your attention, then they will have no qualms in doing that. So I want you to know this more than anything. The narcissist shenanigans are actually not about them. In this surprising twist, which the narcissist fully realizes, their tactics are actually all about you. It's the thing that they know is going to hurt you the most. It's the thing that they think is going to get you to hand over the control that you're trying to take back. As soon as you make contact with a narcissist, when they succeed, they have you back under control. They can love bomb you with false promises or blame you for everything and dump their anger all over you. They can string you along with lies in regard to getting back together with you one day. They can make arrangements to see you and let you down at the last minute to punish you. This is the thing. You're not dealing with somebody who has a conscience, rather you're dealing with somebody who is after an ego feed, which means, and this to them is it. This is it. The fact that I can affect you emotionally, intensely, means that I am significant. For the narcissist to consider you as a flesh and blood human being with a soul who has needs and rights and values that deserve validating and respecting is disgusting to the narcissist. It's actually unthinkable to them. They can pretend they care. They can tell you exactly what you want to hear, usually because there's no other way to get through to you. But as soon as you need the real life proof and actions and conversations that support you, you're going to see the narcissistic demon appear again. And this is why you need to get really clear about the tactics that a narcissist will use against you and be able to shore up those parts of you that are being triggered so that you don't fall for it. Okay, so in conclusion, let's go through again the formula to have your boundaries and hold them. Okay, it starts with state your truth and enact it without the narcissist's blessing, because you're not going to get it. And then you need to ignore the tactics to get you to rehook to them and hand over your boundary and control. And as I say in all of my videos, keep smiling, keep healing, and keep thriving, because there's nothing else to do. Which means that when you get triggered, turn within and heal those parts of you that are getting hooked in. Then the narcissist will have no power over you, and you won't be handing over your power to get overpowered and hurt again. For those of you who have not as yet experienced quantum freedom healing, I would love to invite you to This is the inner healing tool in NARP that makes such a difference in being able to get those triggers and those insecurities and those susceptibilities healed up to wholeness. It's going to shore up the gaps where the narcissist can infiltrate and start controlling you again. So please come into one of my free webinars. The link is attached in the show notes, so that you can get a deeper understanding about how this is going to help you profoundly. So I really hope that today's video has made a lot of sense to you. Please remember to subscribe to my channel and also share this video if it's somebody you know it can really help. And as always, please leave your comments and your questions below, because I'm really looking forward to having this conversation with you. Lots of love. Bye-bye.